Hey everybody, this is Roy Canning, and this is Favorite Game Friday, where we have a group of contributors with completely different tastes in gaming and talk about their favorite game in the category of the week. This week we're talking all about games that are really hard to get to the table. Is there a game that you super love and you super enjoy, but it's hard for you to get it played? Make sure to leave in the comments down below if you have a game that you really love that's hard to get to the table, and let's get to the contributors' clips.
Hello everyone, Ben Myers here. Today's topic for Favorite Game Friday is games that are hard to get to the table, and my pick is going to be Mansions of Madness, the second edition. It's just a big box game that is a long process, a long story-driven experience that requires people to be into the theme and into the idea of being immersed into a story. And it's hard to find people that are interested in this sort of theme and are willing to sit through a 2 to 3 hour session of Mansions of Madness. Happy Friday, everyone. Bye.
Kimberly from Tabletop Tolson here, and the game that I find hardest to get on the table is Root. I have not played Root yet, and we've got it, and we've had it for a while. And I think the reason why we don't get it out is because there's a lot to learn here. It is a hardier game, but the characters are asymmetrical, and the win conditions are unique for each player. And because of that, it's intimidating. I'm hoping this summer I can have enough time to really sit down, learn this game, and really appreciate it the way I hear everybody else's on the internet. Yes to Root and tackling my fear.
Hey, Favorite Game Friday, Jared here again from the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel, home of board game tutorials, news, and a podcast. And today we want to talk about a game or games that are difficult to get to the table for whatever reason. For me, that pick is going to be a Game of Thrones, the board game, second edition. This requires a big player count to really make it worth it to break out. There's a lot of pieces, there's a big board, there's a lot of rules to go over. But if you can get the right player count, between 5 to 8 if you have the expansion, up to 6 with the base game. It is an amazing kind of dynamic, area-controlled, negotiation, backstabbing type of game, and it's themed around a really good book series and TV series on HBO, Game of Thrones. It's a lot of fun, but I always have a hard time getting it to the table because of the long rules teach and having enough players to really buy into doing that. But check it out, Game of Thrones, second edition.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Buddy, and for this week's Favorite Game Friday, I've decided to pick Root as the game that's difficult to get to the table. I just love how this game was built. I love the asymmetric strategy, the different mechanics for each faction, and I want to play them all. I bought every expansion so far for this game, and I'm currently waiting on the Marauders expansion, which is, as of this moment, being currently shipped to US backers. So now the reason why this game has been hard to get to the table lately is actually because of the asymmetric mechanisms for each faction. Because most of the players in my game group would get too comfortable playing one specific faction and have no desire to learn the mechanics of a different one. Not to mention, there have also been many instances of AP. But I absolutely love this game so much, I even downloaded the digital version onto my phone. And with the new expansion on its way, I really do hope to get this to the table more often this year. Well, that's it. On to the next video. Whoa!
Hi, it's Barb Maple, PhD, and my favorite hard-to-get-to-the-table game is Preda'porte. This is a game where you're playing a fashion designer, building up collections, showing at fashion weeks, and just building your empire of retail outlets and employees and contracts. And it is a bit heavier of a game, but in my head I always think the rules are going to be harder to remember and harder to grok than they actually are when I get it to the table. Whenever it's in front of me and we've done a quick review, I get right into it and I love playing this game. But then when it's not in front of me, I have this just thing in my head that says it's going to be really hard. I don't know if I'm up for it right now. So for me, my favorite hard to get to the table game is Preda'porte. Happy Friday, everyone.
Hi, I'm Linda with Get a Clue, Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game. And this week we're talking about games that are hard to get to the table. Now, I am still packing, and in fact, my next to the last game box that I was about to seal had the game that I want to share with you. I love this game. I played it for the first time at Dice Tower retreat last September, and I bought it originally because I've been there. Teotihuacan, City of Gods. Teotihuacan is a sprawling game. It's a fun game. You use dice placement to get things and to maneuver all the different aspects that you can. But because it's, first of all, a table hog, but also even more so, most of the people I have to play with are more of the casual level, and so I just have not been able to get it to the table since last retreat, and I'm hoping maybe this next September, when I'm at the next retreat, I'll get a chance to do it. Have a wonderful Friday. Until next time, bye.
Hello, we're the Hendersons. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Deb. And this week's topic is games that are difficult to get to the table. Daniel, what's your favorite?
Everybody,
close your eyes.
I'm not Eric Summerer, but my game is Ultimate Werewolf. This is great with a group of about a dozen people, and having a good MC for the game who's very familiar with it and can manage all the different roles and people is very helpful. So if you're at a convention and you get a chance to play Ultimate Werewolf or one of the werewolf variations, you should give it a shot. Deb, what do you have?
My favorite is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. It's a great game, and we decided we were going to play it with our niece and her husband. There's just one slight problem. They live 400 miles away. So my recommendation to get these hard-to-play games to the table easier is choose people who live nearby. Happy gaming.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and a game I have trouble getting to the table is this giant box here. Because even though Codex is a two-player strategy battle card game, which is normally a pretty quick genre, in Codex, instead of having a deck, you get a binder, and the binders are full of cards that you don't even shuffle. You just have all of these cards available to you for deck building, which means you need to know all of these cards for strategy purposes. You need to know how the gold works and the other tokens. You need to know how blocking works, how to set your defenders. You need to know how heroes work and leveling up, and it's just a lot to teach to a new player. So even though this is one of my favorite games, and it's supposed to take about 45 minutes, it actually takes about 2 hours, and I haven't played it in a couple years. But that is Codex Card Time Strategy.
A game I have a real hard time getting to the table is Robinson Crusoe. You can say I have the old Z-Man version, so it's pretty old. I have all the expansions that I could get, but I never even played this one. Like, I know Trey Parker really likes it, but I never even got to it. This is still in shrink. This is still in shrink. I just can't get Robinson Crusoe to the table. I don't know why. Maybe it's the theme, but anyway, it's a great game, great cooperative game, but can't get it to the table.
Hey everybody, this is Strategy Wizard and
Crazy Craft.
And this week we're talking about games that are hard to get to the table, and I've got an obvious choice. Bam! Twilight Imperium, 3rd edition, super long, hard to get to the table. For one, you have to get 3 players at least, and it gets better with more, but the more players you have, it gets super long. But such a good game. I wish I could get to the table more.
Yeah. And mine is Cosmic... Oh, sorry, that's accessible. Cosmic Encounter. Cosmic Encounter is a game that basically you get to negotiate and great combat with SIPs, and you can negotiate and help people out, and you get cool cards
and special powers that
are oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah. And then my honorable mention is Battlelore. Battlelore is also a great combat game with cool terrain with rocks, water, and you have to navigate around the map, and all your units have cool special abilities like this magic book. Boom!
Yeah, lots of cool stuff. You have all the expansions. You also can customize your armies, which is really awesome.
Yeah, you can customize your armies. Yeah, so that's our picks.
Yep. Hopefully you have some good ones too, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Julian, and this is Libby, and we are from Boxed Meeples on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
And this week we're talking about games that we absolutely love, but they're pretty tough to get to the table.
Well, one game we love, it's in our top 20s, is Dinosaur World. But this is a beast, it's huge. Every player has their own DNA track, they're building their own part from hexagons in front of them, and they're picking from different hexagons that are available in a communal pool. On top of that, you've got various tracks of victory points and different objectives for the rounds that all have to be displayed on the table. Now we've got a pretty big table, and it's crowded with just 2 of us. We can probably put a 3rd player on there, but I think any more than that and they'll be stretching it. It's a fantastic game, it just takes a long time to set up, a long time to put away, and you need a huge boardroom table to be able to play it with any more than 3.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games that I'm considering getting the insert bit so we can keep all of the bits and pieces together so that it makes it easier to get to the table. My pick this week is games in general that are the legacy type, but I have chosen Pandemic Season 0 because that's what we're playing at the moment. The problem with legacy games when you're playing them with people that don't live in the household as you is it's difficult to get dates matched up if there's children involved that dictate different locations or different timing and things like that. So with the Pandemics, for example, you're going to need at least 12 times to be able to meet, if not more, in order to complete each of the different scenarios that you're going through. And sometimes with calendars and people's work schedules and things, that can be really tricky. So we're still on March of this, having started it at the beginning of the year, but hopefully we'll be able to get a few more sessions in soon.
For legacy games, wouldn't it be fantastic if there's a previously on Pandemic Legacy? Anyway, if you do see us, we will be going to the UK Games Expo in a couple of weeks. So if you see us, come and say hello, and maybe we can fit in a game with Dinosaur World over there. Probably got big tables there.
Hi, this week, games that are hard to get on the table. I have 2 picks this week. First one, Cleopatra and the Society of Architects. As you may know, it has a lot of beautiful pieces, but it takes a long time to set up and tear down, but it does have simple gameplay that looks great. And my second pick is Dune, the game of conquest, diplomacy, and betrayal. Mainly because it takes a few hours to play. You need the right group and a good amount of people, and a lot of people are willing to put in the time or be able to backstab and make alliances and take each other out. And you?
Dungeons and Dragons.
And why?
Because
it is hard to get to the table. You got to get the right group. You got to get a DM. And it seems to be a little harder for us to get her into a group. Happy Friday. Take care.
Assalamu alaikum. My favorite inaccessible game is going to be Alchemist. Now, this is a very complex game and a very long teach for someone to understand. Complex in the sense that actually it comes in 2 parts. There is a Euro part in which you will be getting resources, using coins to improve your functions, things like that. And then there is a whole second part of the game which is about deduction, that you try to react 2 chemicals together and then see what reaction happens and try to deduce that, okay, what constitutes the element of this original elements or ingredients. And that deduction part is complex in itself, that people will take time to understand it. Plus the Euro side, it makes the teach longer. So for the first time, people are going to have a hard time understanding Alchemist just due to that time it takes to teach them. But once you have known it, then it's a lovely game to play and one of my favorites. So that's my favorite, Alchemist. Happy gaming.
Hey guys, this week's pick is a game that's a little bit hard to bring to the table, and that would have to be Shadows of the Past. I really like the game. Problem is that whether you have City Fall or Shadows of the Past, some people are going to be like, well, I don't like one versus many. And then you have the other people who are like, well, I don't like it, it's co-op. So you have this mixture of people who are big TMT fans, and they're like, we don't like it, I don't like this part, I don't like this part. So it's always like that half and half of maybe they'll like it, maybe they're not. And it's pretty hard to bring to that table just because you have to have the right people for the TMT game. So that's my pick. I'll see you guys next time.
For me, it's going to have to be Twilight Imperium 4. I really enjoy 4X games, and this is the granddaddy, gigantic one of them all. But having that playtime and being a responsible adult playing a game that takes such a long time is really hard to do, but it's awesome and epic when you actually get a chance to play Twilight Imperium.
Hi, I'm Josh from the YouTube channel Josh Yaks, and I want to start out by expressing my gratitude for all the wonderful comments I received in response to my contribution to last week's Favorite Game Friday episode. Reading them just made me kind of emotional, so thank you so much for those. As for this week's, the game I probably had the hardest time getting to the table, due in part to its size, the amount of time it takes to set it up, and the sheer complexity of all the rules I have to refresh myself on, is probably my very favorite, most prized possession, the War of the Ring Anniversary Edition. This problem compounds even further when you start adding in all the expansions.
Hello everyone, I am the other Josh. It has been more than 2.5 years since I have played this epic, Twilight Imperium 4th edition. And it is by far the hardest game for me to get to the table. Pre-pandemic was the last time I was able to play this. But in 3 weeks from now, I have a game day where we are going to get this bad boy back on the table. Hope you all have an excellent Friday, and I will see you later.
What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne from Blackboard Gaming, and my choice of board game that I really love but find it hard to get to the table is this big boy right here, Escape Plan. In Escape Plan, we are members of a gang who have pulled off this big bank heist and got away with it, or so we thought. The goal of this game is to get out of town, avoiding the cops, all the while gathering as much money as we can before we leave. I love how thematic this game is, but as you can see, this here is a big boy. And that's why this is my choice. Now, I would wave by like I usually do, but I'm holding this big old game, so see you guys later.
There's a lot of games out there, and some games are just harder to get to the table than others. But a lot of times it's worth it when you're actually able to get those games played. So make sure to leave in the comments down below if there's a game that you really enjoy that's hard for you to get to the table, but you wish you could. And make sure to check out our contributors from all around the world and all around the internet that join us here on Favorite Game Friday. If you'd like to be a part of Favorite Game Friday, make sure to check out the Google Drive link down below and you can join in. Next week we're going to be talking all about games that make you yell. Is there a game that gets you super excited enough that you just can't keep it in anymore, that make you yell and shout as you're playing the game? Maybe the mechanics of the game and make you be loud and boisterous as you play it. Make sure to leave that in the Google Drive link below, a super short video, and it would be awesome to have you join in on Favorite Game Friday. Anyway, I've been Roy Canny and I'll see you on the next one.